Hey, what's up, guys? This is Dr. Enoch Kotei, the primary care physician you can trust, breaking down the topics you care about in the way that you can understand. Has it been a while since you've been to a doctor's office visit? Or have you recently had an unsatisfying experience in which you were unable to meet your goals? If so, then stay tuned because I'm going to give you 5 tips to help you prepare and get the most out of your doctor's office visit. I want to give you some meaningful tips here that can hopefully translate across all specialties and across the world. So one tip that I won't mention here is to be on time because number one, it's obvious and you probably heard it before. And number two, every office is different in terms of how they deal with late patients. So anyway, let's get into it. Now, tip number one is to bring all your medication with you to your doctor's office visit. And by this, I mean literally taking all your bottles, putting them in a bag, and bringing it with you to your visit. In terms of insulin, because it should be refrigerated, you shouldn't bring that with you, but you can bring the box. Now, I like this better than people writing down their medications on a list and bringing that with them, because number one, it allows me to take their pill bottle and actually write notes on the label of the pill bottle. And number two, patients themselves don't actually know all the names of their medications or recognize them when they look at the words. They only know their medications by how they look. And they always say, oh, well, I take that little white pill in the morning or I take that big yellow pill at night. And believe it or not, doctors don't really know exactly what the pills look like because we're not the ones taking them. So it actually allows us to communicate a little bit more effectively when you have the pills and the bottles right in front of you. Now, a lot of times when I ask patients what medications they're on, they always say, oh, it's in the computer, it should be in the computer, which technically should be true, but you would be surprised how many times we find discrepancies in the computer due to people just bringing in lists instead of actually bringing in the physical bottles so we can match them up with what's in the computer. And once again, when I say bring everything in, I'm talking about everything, not just prescription medications, but also over-the-counter medications, supplements, herbals, even creams that you take as well, or anything that you take as needed, because these are all relevant information. And some of these things, even though they're not officially prescribed, can interact with the medications that are prescribed to you. Now, tip number two is to bring any relevant data or records with you to the visit. This is especially important in terms of new patients because we don't always get a chance to request the records before their visit. And anything will help, whether it be any old lab tests or imaging or office visit summaries from previous doctors, also the list of doctors that you've seen in the past so we can try to request the records while you're there. All that will help make your visit go a lot smoother. For people with chronic conditions such as diabetes and hypertension, it's very important to check your blood pressure and your blood sugars outside the office regularly and bring those readings with you to your visit. In regards to hypertension, the in-office numbers only give us a snapshot. However, various studies have shown in the past that the out-of-office readings are just as important in telling the full story of your condition. Plus, in the previous video, I mentioned conditions such as white coat hypertension and mass hypertension that can only be diagnosed if you compare the in-office readings to the out-of-office readings. Now, tip number three is to prioritize your concerns. If you have one chief complaint, it's okay to start off with that. As a matter of fact, it's okay to even say to the doctor and the staff, my main reason for coming today is X, Y, and Z. Some people bring with them a list of questions that they have that they absolutely do not want to leave without having answered. And that's okay. However, if you show up with too long a laundry list of concerns, keep in mind that there's a chance that some of the most important issues can be left unaddressed. Now, if you're unsure about how minor or major a certain symptom or complaint really is, then the best policy might be to just go ahead and mention everything. However, just come with the understanding that it might take multiple visits to get to the bottom of all your issues and have satisfying answers for everything. Now, tip number four is to make sure you bring assistance from other historians or other people that can actually explain what's been going on with you. If you're not the most health literate person in the world, or if you have difficulty with memory and details, you definitely want to have somebody accompany you who's been spending a lot of time around you and knows you well. In regards to language barriers, technically it's the clinic's responsibility to provide interpretation services. However, if you bring family and friends, it can definitely help things go a little bit more smoothly. Now, tip number five is to always remember that honesty is the best policy. And to illustrate that, I'm going to tell you a story. So a few months back, I was taking care of a middle-aged woman. She had a history of hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol. And every time she would come to the doctor's office, her numbers would always be abnormal. Blood pressure would be 180 over 100 or even higher. Her blood sugars would always be in the 300 or 400s. And, despite all the medications I put her on, her A1C and her cholesterol just did not budge at all. And we had a rapport, and I saw her for about 5 or 6 visits, and I always would ask her, do you take your medications every single day? It's a simple, straightforward question. And she would say, yeah, I take my meds every single day. So I said, okay, well, if that's the case, then I guess maybe I don't have you on the right medications, or maybe the dosage is not correct. So, every time she would come in, I would always adjust this medication, change that medication, add this, add that, refer to this specialist to help with the case, or order this test to find out what the heck is going on and why nothing that I'm doing is working. And it wasn't until about the 7th or 8th visit that she actually admitted to me that she actually only took her medications once or twice a week, because when she did take them, she felt quote unquote bad. And when she did not take them, she felt a lot better. Now I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that there are probably tons of patients like her out there, especially because patients, they do want to please a doctor and they don't want to come across as non-compliant. However, if she would have just been honest from the beginning, we could have saved a lot of time, energy, and resources and had a chance to explore these feelings together so we can find a solution quicker, and she wouldn't have to walk around as a ticking time bomb for so long. So those are my 5 tips, guys. I really do hope that you take them into consideration, because believe it or not, doctors are not some supernatural beings with magic wands and psychic powers. We need you to help us take care of you. I hope this was helpful. Please give me a like and subscribe to Trust PCP. Thanks for watching. Peace out.